Top 24 quarterbacks in fantasy football. So the reason we did 24 is it puts you in the perfect range for QB2 territory. That's full. So super flex, obviously, if you guys are in those, you're most likely fielding around 20 to 25 quarterbacks, or 20 to 24, I'm sorry. But yeah, so here we go. All right, let's do this. We'll do it in...
We'll do the first 4,
Yeah.
and then the other ones we'll group by 5. All right.
Yep.
I'll get it started. 24, Deshaun Watson. 23, Mr. Baker Mayfield. 22, Janoria Smith. And 21, the breakout candidate of the year, an absolute sleeper pick, Will Levis of the Tennessee Titans.
Love that.
Deshaun Watson, he wasn't good last year. He was also injured last year, but when he was on the field, he wasn't that good. It's hard to predict a breakout for him. Baker Mayfield, we just talked about it. We all expect the Buccaneers offense to take a significant step back. That means Baker takes a step back as well. 22, Geno Smith. I like Geno, but I don't know how I feel about him for fantasy. I don't know how I really feel about the Seahawks offense as a whole. But then my number 21, this is a guy who I might be targeting in some drafts, I'm not going to lie. Mr. Will Levis, I think the Tennessee Titans have done everything in their power to set him up to succeed. You bring in a Calvin Ridley, you bring in a Tyler Boyd, and I trust the talent of Will Levis. I think he showed me he wasn't great last year in his rookie year when he got the chance. He wasn't good either, but he showed some things. He had that huge game. I forgot who they were versing, but where he threw like 3 touchdowns to DeAndre Hopkins.
Yep.
The dude has an arm on him. You give him a deep threat like Calvin Ridley. You have a guy like DeAndre Hopkins still next to him. I think Will Levis is set up to have a really true breakout season, so he's my number 21.
You guys can go.
Levis got a leg on him.
Yeah, he does.
He most definitely has a leg on
Want to talk about having an arm?
3 of them things.
You
want to talk about having an arm, man? You want to talk about
Wait,
an
we're
arm?
doing
my
4 quarterbacks
goodness.
or 5?
We're doing 4 for this one.
So 24 to 21.
yeah.
Okay. All right, so kind of similar. My 24 is Deshaun Watson. My 23 is Baker. My 22 is actually Bryce Young. And 21 might be a surprise, but I'm not high on this team at all, really. My 21 is Trevor Lawrence. I think this is like you just paid him. A lot of quarterbacks, when they just get paid, they just regress for no reason. I'm not high on the Jaguars. Joe Burrow just got paid the year before.
He got hurt.
Don't matter. I can see Trevor Lawrence getting hurt.
Oh, wow. That's nuts.
Just putting that out there.
Just throwing it out there.
Now, low-key, when you think of it like that, you're actually right.
Oh, my God.
Bro,
Don't feed into this.
Nah, you're trolling me.
Bro, I'm not high on Trevor Lawrence at all, and I think there's people here that are like,
I'm going to have him high.
no.
Top 10, no.
I think if you have him top 10, it's crazy.
Oh my God, I love Trevor Lawrence. I don't have him top 10. I love
10
Trevor Lawrence. I don't
fantasy
have him
nuts,
top
bro.
10.
All right, here we go. So at 24, I have Mr. Rocket Man, Will Levis.
At least he made the top 24.
I completely forgot Baker Mayfield, to be honest, but I don't think I would have really had him on this anyway. Sorry about it.
Not a top
I'm not
24?
looking to draft Baker Mayfield. I'm really not looking
I
to
will
draft
tell you
any of
in
these
that
guys
group
at the
who
bottom.
I would take over him.
Will Levis is interesting, as is the next guy. Not this one, sorry. Matthew Stafford at 23. At 22, this guy's kind of interesting. I could see a breakout. 22, Bryce Young. 21, Geno Smith. There it is.
I like the Bryce Young pick.
So
Okay, yeah. My 24 is Will Levis. My 23 is Deshaun. And then at 22, I have Baker Mayfield, with 21 being Geno Smith.
similar range.
Yo, looking at
Yes.
these, my list is so different from you.
My list sucks.
I love my list.
At the bottom, it's-
I'm locked
I'm
in.
just going to pick you apart because it's fun to argue with you. What's the rationale for Bryce Young ahead of Matt Stafford in fantasy rank?
I like that.
I think there's. I
question.
don't think there's any
How much is
rushing
Bryce
upside.
Young going to rush?
So I was
bro?
about to say I don't think there's any
I don't know if
rushing.
he's Russian, bro. He's
I don't
American.
think there's.
Ah.
I don't think there's any. He's African American, actually. I don't think there's any rushing upside to Matthew Stafford unless this man suddenly becomes Patrick Mahomes with his legs. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Bryce Young could get you 300 to 400 rushing yards with maybe.
Yeah, but I
a
feel like
rushing
there's
touchdown
so
or two.
much more upside with Stafford's passing. I mean, he's throwing a
Yeah, the offense.
hookah and
Arguably the best
No,
duo.
for sure. I think he can end up. He's
Tyler
probably going to end
Higbee,
up with
you
like
know?
42 to 4,400 like passing yards. But I think I also think that the spike games for Bryce might be there a little bit more in case he gets like a 40 or 50 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown in a game. So I don't know. I inherently always value the potential for 400 rushing yards in a season more than I do anything else.
Yeah, I think with these rankings, I really just rank them on how comfortable would I be if they were on my team. Like
I
I
don't feel
like
comfortable with any of these guys.
no, neither do I. But I think for me, I would feel way more comfortable with Stafford, leaving a draft with Stafford than Bryce. That's what
fair.
it is. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
fair.
Like I just
I agree.
yeah.
Hunter
So
P,
that's
Hunter
fair.
P.
I feel confident with Geno as my QB too, but that's about it. Maybe
Yeah.
Maybe Staff. Yeah.
That's why I have Baker there too. I mean, if anything, Baker was what 8 last year, 7.
Yeah.
Baker was a
Wow.
top 10 quarterback last year, and he has the same worse offensive coordinator, but the same guys, same weapons. So
All right. Coming back. You want to come back around this way this time?
start 20, yeah. So at 20,
Go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I forgot. I'm sorry.
at 20 is where I have Kirk Cousins. At 19 is where I have Matthew Stafford. 18, Aaron Rodgers, and then 17, which pains me to do this, but I do have Justin Herbert at 17.
And go one more. 16.
Oh, at 16, okay, 16. That's where I have Trevor Lawrence.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, JC.
Kind of, actually not, a little different. At 20, I have Justin Herbert. I agree. It's a tough luck, but I just can't trust that offense this year. I have Stafford at 19, Rodgers at 18. This is where I kind of like start like thinking like, maybe I'm going a little too over the board. I have Will Levis at 17. I think
Respect.
I like the Titans a lot. I think they're
Red Rocket.
sleepy. Like
Red Rocket.
I think Titans are like the sleepy team that's gonna like pull out some wins where like you're not supposed to win there. You have so much vets on that team that for like a second year guy, it helps not a lot. I think.
He has like the best like 2018 receiving core.
Yeah.
Like if that was like
if it
6
was,
years
like,
ago.
3 years ago,
Oh
it
my
would be the
god.
best-
That's
It would literally
crazy.
be the best receiving core in the NFL. Yeah.
Yeah, and my 16 might be. I just expect this team to regress a little bit. I have Brock Purdy at 16.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't expect him
Whoa,
to be that.
Brock.
I have Brock almost topped. So.
That's interesting. Okay. All right. Cool.
I love the Will Levis.
Yeah.
Will Levis is my
That's
dog.
what- that's
bro.
nice
I'm
one.
not sure if Will Levis is a good NFL quarterback yet.
That's why I'm holding back. I mean, also I like his receivers,
also-
but like I said,
I
6 years ago.
because he does just all. He just throws bombs, so I haven't really
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
like the midfield game yet.
He literally cannot recognize.
But like all
pressure
those
for
receivers are like, all those receivers are down deep threats. Ridley's a deep threat. Low
Justice for Traylon.
Tyler
I
Boyd could.
guess.
Justice
I'm
for
gonna turn more into
Traylon.
that possession guy. Tyler Boyd is also a possession guy, but Calvin Ridley. I mean, what are you gonna?
He has 2 receiving backs too, though.
What do you? That's all.
2 receiving backs,
Yeah,
kind of
Tony
crazy.
Pollard and Tajay.
And Tajay is both
They
No,
brought
good
in
receivers.
Callahan from Cincinnati.
offensive line.
No, he's set up to succeed.
And
Yeah, yeah.
Bill Callahan, the offensive
Yeah,
line coach.
that's what I'm
too,
saying.
So, and they
He's-
made a bunch of.
He's set up to succeed, Will
He is,
Levis. So.
for sure. This is Maker. I think this is the year like where it's decided. Are you
Yeah.
the franchise quarterback or not?
Mm.
I don't think he's gonna get a third.
Really? I think they give him 2.
I think they give him 2.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's all set up.
Oh, he has to-
Depends
be
on who
really
else they
bad.
could bring in.
Exactly. That's
too.
also very
Like,
true.
Yes,
Yeah,
This team could be ready to win now next year.
I don't love their defense. I don't love their defense.
Roster, so-
I don't love their defense.
All right.
And new coach. I loved Vrabel. I was a big Vrabel guy.
I like Zach Callahan.
Me too, but I was a big Vrabel guy.
And Vrabel's
It's-
awesome.
2024, bro.
I agree.
It's 2024.
Vrabel's a great
What do you mean,
floor
though?
raiser.
What do I
Vrabel's a great-
mean?
He
Like-
just run the ball.
Why are we-
That's
But he
what
had
did.
to. You
I
have Derrick
know-
Henry, you have to.
I know, but like
With Tannehill, I mean,
now it's time to move on. That's when it's time.
But it's
to
not his
fucking-
fault. If
what
they-
did you say before? Modernize the NFL offense, bro.
sure, but if they
Modernize your offense. That
if
shit was out of
they-
date, bro.
no, I agree.
And
I mean,
so was
it's-
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was out of date.
But they just brought in. Now they have D Hop, Boyd, and Ridley. I mean, that's. I mean, I know it's
Modernized.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of
no,
ironic.
That's as modern as
But
it gets.
at the same time, though, like
Chig.
Chig, you're a big Chig guy. The thing with
Hey.
Vrabel is like they took away AJ Brown from him. That was a crime.
that.
That
Yeah,
was a
no,
crime.
that was stupid.
They
That was-
they
Yeah,
fucked
he
up his
didn't want him to
career.
get traded on.
No,
No,
they
yeah,
fucked
that
it up for Traylon Burks. So justice for Vrabel, but whatever.
Yeah. No, he's not a
They
bad
don't
coach.
even like
It was just-
Traylon on this team anymore.
They ruined.
Christ.
he was great for the old roster construction, but like to take that step up and rebuild, they needed to go a new direction.
I quite like Callahan.
I do
think
too.
he's
I do
solid
as
for
well.
them.
I miss Vrabel
He
though.
was the Bengals OC, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he was. All right, here we go. At number 20, I have Kirk O'Chains. I got Kirk Cousins. At number 19, I have Aaron Rodgers. At number 18, goofball. I'm so sorry to do this to you, but I have Jared Goff here. At 17, this also pains me because, God damn it, he's a top 10 quarterback, but it is Justin Herbert.
I agree.
And at number 16, I have Deshaun Watson because last season when he was healthy, he wasn't good, but he ran a lot. The games that he
He's
finished,
running
he
for his
averaged.
life.
Well, they have a great offensive line there, and
He's
they
still running
added
for
Jerry
his life 'cause
Jeudy.
He's an idiot.
I think he sucks. He's bad at football, but he might be good for fantasy. I think in the games that he was healthy last year, he averaged like 18.5 points per game, which, it's good enough for a quarterback. So, yeah, I have Deshaun here conservatively. I could see him. If he's a good version of Deshaun Watson, I could end up seeing this be a top 10 quarterback in terms of fantasy
It's a
football.
lot to ask.
It is a whole lot to ask, but he's got a whole lot of money.
He does have a whole lot of money. It's interesting because I think that's kind of what, if you're drafting Deshaun, you are drafting hoping that he's somewhat of what he looked
He's
like in
one
the
of my
past.
favorite last picks in the draft.
It's just so tough because now it's like it doesn't feel like that long ago, but I think we're going on 4 years of when he was actually a good quarterback. That's crazy. We're half a decade away. It's a long time.
Be good.
It's a long time. So I don't know. I like the trust though. I mean, that slimmer of hope is still there.
Even if he's bad, this is still a decent spot for him because he was running a lot. Like a whole lot last year.
I would have. I mean, Herbert. This is a former 5,000-yard passer.
Dude, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
But they are going to. If you know
Run.
Jim Harbaugh,
They're gonna run.
they're going to run the shit out of that football.
Yeah, so speaking of that, I have Justin Herbert at number 20 for that exact reason. I just think his passing volume is going to be so down. But 19, I have Rodgers. 18, I have Matt Stafford. 17, I slotted in Kirko. And 16 is where I have Mr. Trevor Lawrence.
Yo, don't say top 5, bro.
I just think the Jaguars receiving room is
It's very
and
Gabe Davis is
I know Trev is due for positive drop regression and
I agree.
touchdown
Oh
regression,
my god,
but
Calvin Ridley was
yeah,
atrocious
but
with that shit.
I don't know.
He was bad with that.
I don't know. There's just I just feel more confident drafting these other guys ahead of him. So I'll bring it back around. At 15, I have Jared Goff. At 14, I have Mr. Tua. At 13, I have Jaden Daniels. 12, I have Caleb Williams, and my quarterback 11 is Brock Purdy.
Okay. Wow.
Pained me to put Brock Purdy so high,
So you have
but
Caleb above Jaden.
I do.
Okay.
I'm just more confident in.
The
I think
supporting cast?
I think Caleb's floor is higher,
Okay.
so that's why I would rather draft Caleb than Jaden
But
Daniels.
Obviously, Jaden has the higher ceiling.
Yeah,
Cool.
100%.
Okay.
Jaden's ceiling is this year is probably a top 6 fantasy quarterback. I don't think
agree.
Caleb could get up to that.
I agree. All right, so number 15, speaking of the guy, Caleb Williams. Number 14, I have Brock Purdy here. At number 13, I have Tua Tagovailoa. At number 12, I have the other rook, Jaden Daniels. And at number 11, I have Dak Prescott. So,
Okay.
I think Jaden, as you said, Jaden has the ceiling. That's the only reason I put him at 12. I felt like it was a nice little middle ground, given he's a rookie. But I think he could be QB5, QB4.
A little surprised with Dak.
Yeah, touchdown regression is on
Sure.
the way. It has to be. He was so damn efficient last year that I'm not sure that you can replicate that level of success. And he doesn't run. So that touchdown rate, if it drops even a little bit, now you're flying down in terms of your fantasy finishes because you're so reliant on passing yards and passing touchdowns.
I agree.
So
All right, 15, I had Jaden Daniels. 14, I had Jared Goff. 13, I had Tua. At 12, I have Caleb. And at 11, I also have Dak. I think I'd be comfortable with any of those guys as my QB1, but I feel like for most of them, it is just a toss-up right now.
yeah,
Dak, the offense, I feel like it regressed a bit. You don't know what's going to happen with that offense. Caleb Williams, rookie. You got to see what happens with him. He might not pan out. You never know. Same thing with Jaden Daniels. Tua, same thing. Can he win you down the line? Those games that you need to win, and on top he needs to win. And Goff, actually, I would have Goff in my top 10, but I think I trust 10 quarterbacks more than I do Jared Goff right
I
now.
just couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
Although
I
I
had
do
him
think
low, man. I really did have
I
Jared
do think
Goff
the
low.
Lions are gonna go crazy.
I think they're gonna run the football so much.
I
That's
think
the problem.
they're gonna win that first seed in the NFC. I'm not gonna.
I'm going to be so high on the Lions.
Yeah.
Just wait.
So
I'm on the Lions. too.
just something to bring up, those guys from I'd probably say between
20.
18 up to 10-ish on my list, but probably 20 to 10. If I'm drafting one of these guys, I want to stack. So
Yes.
if I'm drafting Caleb Williams, I want DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. If I draft Brock Purdy, I want Kittle, Ayuk or Debo, one of them. If I draft Tua, I want Tyreek or Jalen Waddle with them. If I'm drafting one of these guys, I want the stack because I'm drafting them later than a top 10 quarterback is going. So I have more picks earlier to draft the stack partner.
I also think
I'm a big stack guy in fantasy football.
It's important to express tiers too.
I have
we
tiers.
We don't do this in this, obviously. Like, we don't say our tiers, but for me, 13 through 20, I had them all in the same tier. So I don't mind having any of those guys. Like, personally, I really did. I had them from Tua to Kirk Cousins. I think it's all similar. I do. And then once you get into the top 12, then I'm talking about, like, okay, now the upside is legit. Like, it's like these are all potential top 10 guys. So so that's how I looked at that.
So I have a different tier with that. I have Herbert and Lawrence in the same tier as the next guy. So 15 for me is Tua. I mean, I like Tua this year. I think him being a top 10 quarterback is not out of the equation. Same with Jared Goff. He's 14 for me. Jared Goff was 7 last year, 10 the year before. Jameson Williams, breakout season. I'm big on that. 13 is Jaden Daniels. 12 is Caleb Williams. And then 11 is Brock Purdy.
Okay. Cool. Wow. All right. Swing it back, Jason. Go from 10 to 5.
Okay.
10 to 6, sorry.
10 to 6. So at number 10, we have Kyler Murray. At number 9, we have Dak Prescott. 8, we have Jordan Love. 7, we have Joe Burrow, and then 6, we have Anthony Richardson.
You're low on your boy Kyler.
I am low on Kyler. I mean, I think top 10 is fine for Kyler. I mean, you know, Marvin's great. I like Greg Dortch, I guess. But outside of that, I like Trey. I like Trey McBride too. I don't know. I just have to see.
Love.
I'm a big Trey McBride guy. A second year removed from that injury is huge for him. I just, you know, I think I would be more comfortable with the other guys here. Maybe Dak. Dak and Kyler could switch maybe, but besides that, I think I want every single guy ahead of Kyler more than Kyler. That's it. That's the only reason.
All right. Kind of similar too. At 10, I have Kirk Cousins actually. Again, this might be a toss-up, you know, knowing the Falcons, but I think the Falcons are due for a crazy push this year. 9, I have Jordan Love. At 8, I have Kyler. This might, might be questionable, but I think he landed here exactly last year. So I have Lamar at 7, and then Jalen Hurts at 6.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not a big Jalen Hurts. I think fantasy-wise, I think the only thing that's going to lack him out is the fact, like, Saquon's going to take a couple more points out of the way.
You were the same person that said before the podcast, so we all have a consensus top 6. And then you went ahead and put 2 consensus top 6 guys outside of your consensus top 6.
Well, Hurts is 6. Hurts is 6.
Well, we'll go back.
Okay, all right.
So wait, I have a question for you, Joe. Before we move on, so Kirk Cousins. Let me just pull it up right now, just to make sure I'm.
You had Kirk in your top 10.
Yeah, you pull it up. I'm gonna say something real quick because it's gonna be annoying because he's gonna be right. Like the thing is with quarterbacks in fantasy, it's gonna be annoying. He's gonna get his top 10 right. Like that's how it is. But I would not feel more comfortable drafting.
We good, by the way. I have to really say the 430.
Hey.
Wow.
So Kirk Cousins is the quarterback 18 right now on Sleeper with an ADP of 135.6. You have him as a top 10 quarterback. So that's your quarterback target? Given the value and where he's going in draft, that's your quarterback
100%.
target.
I think
So you're more than comfortable.
I think he's a steal of the draft right now.
You're more than comfortable not drafting a QB.
Oh yeah.
Early.
Me personally, I love stacking my stacking up on wide receivers, running backs. Oh yeah, I'll stack with Pitts or London. I don't care, or Bijan.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The Kirk Bijan stack.
I could see Bijan getting easy, like, you know what I mean, like easy hitches.
I mean, if Bijan's the RB1 and you get a top 10 quarterback in Kirk Cousins, I'm cool.
I love stacks.
Yeah.
I'm a big stack guy.
I'm okay with a.
I didn't realize how valuable they are until I had Tua and Tyreek last year, and it changes the game.
That was my first year really doing stacks, and I had Tua and Tyreek last year.
You guys are privileged. Imagine you had Josh Allen and Diggs. That second half of the year,
Dak and CD.
Yeah,
Dak and CD won you the fucking league, bro.
That's true. There are some that just suck.
So
there's definitely an unfortunate side of it, like Josh Allen and Diggs, but also
second half of the year,
ass. But again, Diggs struggled, but at least you were still getting whatever you were getting out of Josh Allen. You know what I mean? So
crazy.
I value them. I'll put it like this: I value them when I have the guys in the same tier. If I have a receiver for say for example Jared Goff, if I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, just because I have say a Brock Purdy above him, I'm gonna value that because I have them in the same tier. I'm gonna value that just a little bit more. So that's how I look at it. All right, so it's on me, right? For my 10 through 6. All right. So number 10, this is where the guy falls. You guys are looking for him. Here he is, Trevor Lawrence. At number 9, I have Joe Burrow. At number 8, I have C.J. Stroud. Number 7, I have Kyler Murray. And number 6, I have Jordan Love.
You're on J Love.
I love Jordan Love.
I like
Jalen.
Well, so then to wrap that back too. So are you looking for Kyler in your redrafts then? Because he's lower than 7.
1,000%. 1,000%.
You know how
Kyler.
I feel about you. We've
You
done
love-
enough
we've
mock
done a lot of
drafts.
mocks.
Yeah.
You love
What do
Kyler.
I always go for? I go
Kyler and
for
Trey stack.
Kyler Trey, or I go
Kyler
for
Marvin.
Kyler Marvin. That's what I'm looking for. That. So yeah, I'll go ahead.
You like Trey McBride where he's at though? I feel like he's so high on.
I love it. His
what is
target
it,
share
late
was
third?
nuts.
Late third, early.
I think he's
early
like
No,
third?
early
it's later.
third.
It's later.
Fourth?
No, he's
Oh.
late third, early fourth. Last
yeah.
time I checked.
It
Which
was
is
late
fine.
third.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
late third, early
drafting
fourth.
from the back of the draft, like if I'm drafting at like 10 and I draft whoever, a receiver or whatnot in the 3rd round,
Yeah.
and then Trey McBride falls back around to me in the early 4th, I'm taking him every time.
He has tight
Taking
end
him every
potential.
time. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Exactly. With
Yeah.
Kyler, he was
Taking him
averaging
every
50
time.
It was
per game,
crazy.
bro.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Nah, he
But
was.
like if I take Trey McBride, I'm taking Kyler Murray, or when the season starts, I'll trade everything for Kyler. Like I want the stack.
Okay.
I want that stack. Really, like if I take Trey McBride, I want the points from Kyler too. But
I'm not high on drafting tight ends like before round 5. Honestly.
I think this year,
This
it's
year's
just
the
there's
year.
so many guys who could be the tight end 1, and it's just a shame that you have to go because we're gonna record our tight end rankings after this. But there's so many guys who I think are really in the same tier of tight end. There's like 6 of those guys.
There's a 6 that I think is a clear top tier.
Yeah,
There's
and
a
like
top tier 6.
Like, would you be shocked?
Ooh, I
Like,
don't know.
George Kittle is going wherever he's going. Like, he's the
He's
getting
the seventh
drafted
for
the
me.
latest out of the tier. But would you be shocked if George Kittle was the tight end 1?
Yeah.
I'd
be
be more than
shocked.
I
6.
would be shocked.
I would be.
I
shocked.
Unless they
wouldn't, bro.
trade
I
Ayuk
wouldn't.
and Debo.
I wouldn't be
Or Debo.
shocked,
I wouldn't
bro.
be shocked.
Yeah.
I would be shocked.
Wouldn't be shocked.
he was 1,000
he
yards
likes
last
the
year.
position- He
If
likes
Kyle-
his role he's playing.
If Kyle Pitts is the tight end 1, would you be shocked?
no.
No.
Same with Don Kincaid.
Don't get. Yeah,
No, I
don't
wouldn't be shocked.
Right.
So that's why I actually have
me
more than
With
6.
Kittle because there's so many mouths.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
and
have
the
more
fact
than
that
8.
I'd be
I feel like
surprised.
Kittle likes the role where he
Because and that's
blocks.
why he's going last of the bunch in drafts. But like, you'd really be shocked. You'd be like, holy shit!
Would you be shocked with Evan Ingram?
No, I think
Yes.
Evan Ingram's in the tier.
Evan Ingram's in
I
the
know
tier for me
Evan
too.
Ingram's not.
You
We
know,
talked about this.
you know what you need to do.
We'll
You
talk about
have
this
to
later.
look.
Let's
We'll
finish
talk about it later.
quarterbacks,
I
yeah.
agree
Look at
with that.
his target share last year. You're gonna change your
Yeah.
mind. Just look at the
Yo.
targets last year.
No, I agree, but
You'll look at it later, you'll look at it later, you'll look at it, you'll look at it.
All right. At 10, I have Dak Prescott. At 9, I have Jordan Love. At 8, I have C.J. Stroud. 7, I have Joe Burrow. And 6, I have Kyler Murray. Cool, no complaints.
Yeah.
I'll swing it back
let's
around.
get it.
Ooh, do I switch this up right now? No, I'm going to stand on
Everyone's
business.
gonna hate me.
5, I have Anthony
I'm gonna hate you.
Richardson. Oh, wait. You know what? Let me do like a TikTok hook for this. These are our top 5 fantasy quarterbacks. At number 5, I have Anthony Richardson. At number 4, I have Lamar Jackson. At number 3, I have old GOAT Patrick Mahomes. At 2, I have Jalen Hurts. And at 1, I have Josh Allen.
Let him go last. I'll go next. So my top 5 would be C.J. Stroud. At number 4, Lamar Jackson. Number 3, Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Jalen Hurts. And the number 1, Josh Allen.
All right, my number 5 would be Anthony Richardson. My number 4 would be Patrick Mahomes. My number 3 might be pushing it, but Joe Burrow. Number 2 would be Josh Allen, and my number 1, C.J. Stroud.
Before you go, you got to like elaborate on CJ Stroud being that.
Yeah,
high.
that's insane.
I just think we saw what he did rookie year. You add Diggs to this offense. The offense is not bad. The team only got better, both defensively and offensively, in my personal opinion. So not only is like CJ Stroud gonna just, continue to ball out, but your defense getting better. You're not always constantly on the field. So when he's on the field, you have 3 you have the best receiving core in my
The
personal
NFL,
opinion.
yes.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Arguably, all 3 receivers could be argued right now top 20, top 25 maybe.
So,
I just don't think there's a downside to him not being able to be a QB1. Like,
So my question is, you've seen the last few years of the QB landscape and how they've become like QB1s, how the overall QB1. It's all rushing. All of it's rushing. You do understand the type of outlier season that CJ Stroud would have to be QB1 overall, right? Like we're talking 45 passing touchdowns because he doesn't run enough.
Yeah, I think he runs like not he doesn't run enough, but
He's
he
that
does
guy
run.
where it's like
He has
300.
to. He has to lead the league in passing touchdowns to be
Yeah.
the quarterback one.
I do.
And that's what
agree.
you're predicting.
I
I
think
think
he
it's
will.
fair though.
I think
It's
that's
100%
fair.
That's
fair.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fine.
I think he will.
I'm just saying you are
Bro, I'm
you're
just-
standing on an outlier season.
Yeah.
So
I'm just looking at that offense for like Diggs, even Nico Collins before Diggs.
Whoa,
Nico
Nico.
Collins
Nico's
is
the
a
best
beast.
receiver
I
on
love
that
Nico
team.
Collins before Stroud got
I
there. I knew he
agree.
had
I
potential.
But I love
love
Tank,
Nico
though.
Collins.
I love
That's
Tank
right.
too.
Yeah, because I needed to get younger.
Tank's
tells me-
the wide receiver one though.
24.
Oh, and you
Yeah, but I
have
needed to get
Joe
younger.
Mixon, who could be a pass
Hate
guy
Joe
too.
Mixon, but he's good for that offense.
He's good
He's
for that
okay
on.
for that
Bro, I
offense.
think
He's fine.
He's
everything
a more
just
than
makes sense.
capable pass
He's
catcher.
fine. He's
Yeah,
fine. Yeah.
he's good.
I think I don't know. I think CJ Stroud has the potential to be QB1 this year. Mark my words.
I always do some stupid shit that ends up backfiring on me. And this one will too. At number 5, I have Patrick Mahomes. At number 4, I have Lamar Jackson. At number 3, I have Jalen Hurts. At number 2, I have Josh Allen. And my number 1 fantasy quarterback is Anthony Richardson. The reason is, last season we saw when he started, he broke fantasy football. If he plays a full season, he will once again break fantasy football. He has a cannon of an arm. He has the best offensive mind you could argue in the NFL, aside from the top 2 in Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. In Shane Steichen, and then weapons. I mean, A.D. Mitchell is going to be an interesting deep target for him. Obviously, Michael Pittman's an elite number 1 receiver. Josh Downs is the damn good underneath guy.
Oh, I love Josh Downs.
And I mean, it's all set up. I mean, this
That's my
is the
boy.
type of guy that could rush for 1,000, have 10+ rushing touchdowns, and still pass for 3,000 to 3,500 with 25 passing touchdowns. If you do that, we've seen in the past, that's the blueprint. QB1 overall.
So that would be your guy to target then.
Absolutely.
Over
Yeah.
Kyler,
Every
probably.
single draft, Anthony Richardson is the guy that I do my best to leave with.
Mm.
I'm okay with reaching on him too. I do not mind. So
I think he's like a 4th rounder right now.
It's
he's
just-
drafted.
he's-
He's pretty high right now.
he
He's high.
is. He's the type
Not
of guy.
a
Like
fourth
he's
round.
an early
He's like a
fifth.
fourth,
He's an early
fifth.
fifth.
Early
He's a late
fifth.
fourth, early fifth. It's scary though because A-Rich is the type of guy that if you draft him, you need to then go get a quarterback later in the draft, just as an insurance.
Insurance for sure,
So
but there's good options.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I'm not really going to argue with you because I could see him being the quarterback one. I just wouldn't predict it, you know? I'd put him, like, I have him in my tier 1, meaning
too.
he
He's in
can
my tier 1.
be the
Yeah, he's
quarterback
tier 1.
one.
So my 5
but I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna
My 6 tier
predict
1 is.
him to be
My
the,
6 tier
you know what I mean? Like I'm cool putting him in tier 1, the tier of can be the quarterback one, but I don't know if I could predict him to be the quarter. I haven't seen enough. I haven't
It's
seen
been 3
enough.
games. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I haven't seen.
I like
enough.
it. I like it. I like it. I
Yeah,
respect
no,
it.
fuck it, right? If you're right, you're a genius. So.
Hey man, a wise man once told me we just got to put our dicks on the table
Sure.
And then see what happens. Yeah.
and see what happens.
Yeah. So let's find out. Let's see what happens.